Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. As you can tell, we're just in a little bit of a different setup. It's just because I have recorded this review like 4 times and stuff has like happened over around the house. So forgive me if I just sound like I've just said this stuff like repeatedly. Um, I've been trying to get this review out and I'm sorry. I've been recording this like 3 or 4 times now. So I do apologize if I sound like I'm just like redundant. If I sound like I'm just tired, it's just I just have done this like 3 or 4 times. But anyways, let's get into this review. Hopefully this is the last time. Um, so um, okay, so I had just posted my review for Infinite. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that review, and of course we'll be talking about In the Heights. Um, and I just watched it on HBO Max a day early, which is pretty cool. And let's talk about In the Heights. So In the Heights is about a group of people, a group of just, a bunch of people that live in Washington Heights in Manhattan, New York, and ultimately the film is about community, family, and more importantly, dreams, and how one gets to their dreams through when they are poor and they live in a life of poverty, and the hardships that they have to endure to get to their dreams because of said poverty. And that's the basic premise of the film. And it's directed by John M. Chu, who did Crazy Rich Asians, which I saw like 2 years ago at Palmer College, and I liked it. I didn't love it, but I found it to be good. I didn't love it as much as everyone else though. Everyone was like, it was like a cultural phenomenon when the film came out, and it looks like this movie's going to do the same thing. It's following those same beats. The reviews have been very very strong, and there are some things about it that I do like, and we'll address those things first. One of which I'm going to save my big positive last, but one of the things that I did like was Melissa Barrera. I think that's her name. She's the main female lead of the film. She was my favorite of the cast. Great singing and solid work, just overall, once the music stopped. Um, I found the style to be quite infectious. The way the film represented itself, I just found it to be quite stylized, just like a stylish cat, basically. And I found it to be quite engaging in that front. But the big positive, I think, being obvious, is the musical numbers. They are wonderful. I mean, they really are wonderful. They are rich in detail. Like literally, like you look at you can look at certain points behind the camera, or sorry, from like the point of view, and then you can look behind that point of view, and you see like all these little details behind that point of view, and all of them benefit each scene. It's surprisingly emotional. Those musical numbers, and they're filled with energy, absolutely filled with energy, every single one of them, and you are engaged in all of them. Like none of the musical numbers I thought fell flat, um, or were not engaging in any front. I found all of them to be quite engaging and investing. I do take issue with the music numbers though, and this is where I get into my issues with the film, because one of the issues that I do have with the musical numbers, and I do think it did started the decline, or ultimately started to the film started to show a little bit of its bad sides to me through these musical numbers, for one reason, and that is that as much as I love the musical numbers, I do believe they overstay their welcome. Some point in the movie, I believe it's like in the middle of the film, there are three musical sequences back to back, and it becomes exhausting and overwhelming. And that through that sequence, and then or that moment of the film, for some weird reason, it became tiresome throughout afterwards. Like I found myself kind of not bored, but I just found it to be becoming redundant at that point. And I just felt that the amount of musical numbers was one too many, and I felt through that it overstayed its welcome. And without the musical numbers and that really great style that the film possesses, the story that you're left with is rather predictable. And I wasn't as invested with that as I was with the music, or really gripped either by the characters. Um, I think the development was rather weak. I didn't buy the love between our two leads. In fact, I found their love in ways to be toxic. I kind of didn't want them to be together. And I found the performances between the two are good. Like Anthony Ramos, I thought he was good, not great, but good. Um, and again, I've already said about Melissa how I thought she was the best of the cast. Um, but I just didn't buy their love. I found their love to be in ways toxic, and I didn't want these two to end up together. And with these type of stories, you can piece together what the ending is going to be, which leads to another issue with the film is that I didn't like the way it ended. It played itself very safe, and I was really hoping for something else because the film was kind of building itself up to a certain idea that I thought it was going to do, and I thought it was going to be a kind of a bold approach. But instead, they went with the safe approach, and I was not happy with that. I was thinking about this idea of dreams. The whole film is about dreams and this pursuit of dreams, and what you would have to, you know, um, like this core idea about dreams. I was wondering if the film was going to do something at the very end that would have left on a more emotional note and a little bit more of a resonant note. And instead, it chose to go for a safe bet. And I'm pretty sure people will like that ending, but I was not a huge fan of it. I would have preferred the bold ending that I was thinking they were going to do. I won't spoil what it was, what I thought they were going to do, but as I alluded to, I was thinking about the idea of dreams, and I thought that they were going to do something. I really thought so, but they didn't, and I was kind of disappointed in that front. Um, so while I personally take issues with the abundance of music, the engagement of the characters themselves, and that the story is rather predictable to follow, in my opinion, you cannot deny the spirit, the heart, and the energy these musical numbers really do possess, and how they do help. How they do help get you through to the end, even with the issues the overall film does have along the way. I don't think it's a perfect film. I don't think it's a great film. I just think it's fine. The musical numbers are wonderful. The film is worth watching just for those musical numbers alone. However, if you are looking for anything else beyond that, like say a investing story or something of merit to attach yourself onto these characters, you're not really going to get that here because at the end of it all, just to use a funny sentence to end the review on, the musical numbers are great, but the story unfortunately just doesn't reach the heights, if you get my drift there, as those musical numbers really truly do.